Well, Freak Nation, make it 4 crowns in a row. That's four crowns for Rico Abreu joining us here in the Freak Nation. And if my math serves me correctly, it's Rico's 4th title, 11th at Eldora as far as wins go for Rico. Ties him with J.J. Yaley, Kyle Larson, Jerry Coons Jr., and I believe Steve Butler with 8th most the 4-crown history. He joins us now here in the Freak Nation. But I think the story, though, Rico Abreu, is you calling your shot for Scott Bloomquist and saying, you got to win this thing if you're going to represent Bloomquist. And you did it, dude.
You do got to win. What a special weekend for us and my team. And, to pay tribute to Mr. Bloomquist, just something special from us and the sprint car community, doing something really cool like that, makes those wins extra special. Race a little harder, coming to the end, knowing it was coming down to the wire. We had a little pressure put on us by Jacob Allen. So incredible racing all weekend at Eldora. We were so close to winning on Friday, and then put together, a solid race on Saturday to put us in victory lane.
Rico Abreu joining us here in the Freak Nation, flying those Lucas Oil colors. And Rico, frankly, that does inspire. When you're in the cockpit, are you thinking about Scott Bloomquist and really what you have to do to win this damn race? There is motivation in your blood to win this thing?
I was, I've always had so much passion for Eldora Speedway. So I was just, really focused on hitting my marks. We had some great track position last night, and to be able to, lead all 30 laps, I think, I got into a little battle with Brad Sweet early on, and, and just made sure I understood, my pace and lap traffic and stuff. But, Eldora is a great track that's wide enough that creates, the product of racing that it creates is lots of racing. So you can start from anywhere. And, if you put yourself in good position throughout the race and restarts, with timing and stuff, you can get to the front pretty quickly. So it was just, a special weekend. What was really cool is lots of fans. The 4-crown has definitely grown. Obviously 4 classes with wing cars, midgets, non-wing sprint cars, and Silver Crown cars all race on Saturday night. It's a long day, and they do an unbelievable job, just putting the whole event on all together and allowing us to race on some incredible track service.
Rico Abreu, winner 4 times now with High Limit Racing, the High Limit Sprint cars. What is it about Eldora? You touched on at the beginning of that last answer, in that you really love racing the Eldora dirt. What specifically, if you know, is it about Eldora that just makes you shine?
I've just always had so much passion, every time going there, and the history from Earl Baltus to the exchange to Tony Stewart, and my relationship with Tony Stewart, and the efforts Eldora Speedway, how welcoming all the employees are to the drivers and teams and fans, and they run a tight ship. And I really set that an example to my race team, and going there with an incredible crew of guys that work on my car to consistently get it up front I'm in a very fortunate position. So, I've always admired Eldora, like I said, the history, being able to walk up into the grandstands before and after the races and interact with the fans, and the access the fans have, down in the pit area is just something you don't see everywhere. And I think that's something that needs to be talked about, and how special and welcoming, like I said, everybody is there. So to win there, it means a lot to me. And I just, I enjoy every second of it. And I think about it a lot, and think about, the events that Eldora put on, from the King's Royal to the 4-crown to Let's Race 2 to, everything they do for the late model world and the 100 and the Dream, and just how, incredible these events have become over the years is pretty special.
Rico, you referenced the fans and getting to get up into the stands at a place like Eldora. I wanted to talk to you about your 2024 season, because, and maybe it's just me, but it seems like you've always been a driver for the fans, but it seems like you've even opened yourself up more. I love watching your stuff on social media, talking to the fans, talking to people with similar likes and maybe even some dislikes. Is there something different about your approach to 2024? Because number one, you're seemingly more relaxed in the cockpit as well because of possibly just being yourself more. Am I reading you wrong?
No, I mean, I think it's seen pretty easily. So I've definitely changed the structure of things and just really wanted to tell more of a story, about my career and where it's come and where I'm at in my life, with the ups and downs in racing. Racing's so difficult, and we're all out here getting the opportunity to do what we love and racing in front of the best fans in the world. So I think it's really important that the race fans have an incredible experience at the races, and that's kind of my balance with for those fans that don't get to come to the races and that watch on Flow or Mav or Dirt Vision and don't have that initial opportunity of being there in the present moment and building that relationship with them through social media and just kind of utilizing it as a tool. And the at the management level, I've really wanted to ramp things up and allow race fans to feel connected and which is important to me and my brand and the direction I've been wanting to take it. And, where I'm at with my partners and everybody associated with Rico Abreu Racing is I feel like it's owed to them from me that, how hard I work at making sure everybody has an incredible experience.
Wait a minute. You just spilled something on the table there. Rico Abreu, winner of the 4-Crown Nationals Saturday night at Eldora. Now, for 25 years, we've been calling you Abreu, and you just dropped an Abreu on us, and you ought to know how to say your own name, dude. So are we saying it wrong, or are you saying it wrong?
There's two ways of saying it. In Portugal, they say Abreu, and at home we say Abreu, but I go both ways with it. So I always explain it best like you're drinking a brew at the races.
Yeah, I heard that. I was watching a video and the guys kept saying Abreu, and I said, come on, dude, learn how to say the guy's name. And here you drop it on me. And I was like, whoa, we've been saying it wrong.
I never really put myself in position of correcting anybody. If someone asks, then I'll state the way I say it. But other than that,
How do you say it? If somebody asks you, the guy walks up to the car and said license or registration.
Yeah.
Abreu or Abreu?
I'm gonna tell him Abreu, having a brew.
Officer, it's like having a brew. Oops.
Everyone
Right,
just calls me
we got to put that in the files, Kenny, so we can say
Abreu.
Close.
Having a brew.
He's too close a friend to the freaks. So let me get back to where I was going here. I was watching you drive on the top against the berm and down on the bottom, especially in some of that stuff with Brad Sweet. You were cutting him off when he thought he had you covered. That changes every lap, doesn't it? You got to know whether to race on the top or on the bottom.
It does. That's the product of racing at Eldora Speedway, and which is really unique about that track surface and how much it changes throughout a race. So you really have to judge your pace off of racers in front of you, and if you're in position of leading or running up front, you can judge it off your pace off the lap traffic and what lap cars are running away from you, or have a little bit more speed in certain areas of the track. So I knew right away that I kind of missed my corner in 3 and 4 with Brad on the first lap and could hear him instantly, coming on the top, and he was going to make a big move into 1 and 2. So just setting myself up to counter his move and to be able to get down the back straightaway, and knew that he wasn't, running anywhere from the 3/4 lane down. So he was way up on the wall in 3 and 4 to get a big run like that. So moved up and tried to take his line away and just really, really focused on running my race. And that was a big thing to me, is race the racetrack and let these races play out and adapt, and just make sure you're in position the last, 10 to 5 laps to win one of these things.
Does racing the racetrack include racing the lapped cars? And do you know when you come up on a guy that you know who that is and he's a clown and doesn't know what he's doing, and you gotta choose whether to go high or low to get around him?
Sometimes it gets tricky, with lap traffic, and everyone's racing for position out there, and everyone's racing their hearts out. So you can't sit here and knock anybody for being competitive on the racetrack. So I just try to understand if I'm ever in position of leading, when I'm catching, just study, within, those quick, laps, that you're studying where the car in front of you is running. So if he's on the bottom consistently, you're going to have to find a way to search around him up top or through the middle. And if the car in front of you is on the top, you're going to have to find a way. So that's why it's really important to work on the balance of your car, getting it good in other places on the racetrack, top, bottom, middle, and securing those positions while you're out there. And some guys change their mind right when you catch them and you're in lap traffic, or that's the product of sprint car racing and what makes it so exciting.
And I love sprint car racing because of these decisions the drivers are making so rapidly, so quickly. But you just said that you heard Brad Sweet coming up on you with all the crowd, all the cars, all the noise, the tires, and the dirt, and your concentration. You heard a car coming up behind you, and you knew it was Brad Sweet, and you knew how to think of what to do to keep him behind you all at the same time.
You definitely sense that stuff, and with how loud our engines are, and when they get close to each other, you can overhear, someone near you, and understand that if you miss your corner or your mark on the racetrack by a couple inches, you really feel, the car slow down or spin the tires, and you made a big mistake there, especially on half miles where the speeds are so fast. A little mistake, minute mistake can be so compounding on a track that big. And I knew I missed my corner just a tick off turn 4, and really opened the door up for Brad Sweet, and I didn't want to go and do anything silly by trying to block him, and get into a defensive mode, and just really focus on what's ahead, and be an offense when a guy like that makes a move on you, and have a quick counter. It's all about critical thinking in sprint car racing. We have 30 laps so you have to make your decisions very quick, and understand kind of how these races are playing out.
So
and I'm lucky I've been doing it for 13 years, so I got a lot of experience there.
So wait a minute, Rico Abreu. Rico Abreu. I'm sorry to dominate this thing, but how far down the track, and that one instance where you cut off Brad and went low when he went high against you, how far down the track are you watching, or do you see him? Are you racing the track? Are you racing Brad? What's going on when that pass happens?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. So I knew Brad was behind me because it was so early in the race, and we started right next to each other off the front row of the main event. So I knew he was going to be aggressive right away. With his balance in his race car, he can really be aggressive in the beginning of these races. And I just have always allowed, really focus on allowing these races to play out. And like I said earlier, I missed my mark a little bit in 3 and 4 on the first lap of the race. And, when we were coming around to lap 2 and 3, and, and open the door up for Brad to make a move. So you just got to be really aware of your surroundings, and know who you're racing with, and know what kind of race car driver Brad Sweet is. I really study Brad Sweet. He's a really good race car driver. And I want to know, the decisions he's going to make while you're racing around him. If he's ever ahead of you, I watch a lot of film on the really experienced drivers, just to know once I get up front, and, you have great mobility in your race car, you can put yourself in good position to try to beat these guys. They're hard to beat.
Hey, Rico, you got, I think, 4 race weekends left in high limit racing. It can get kind of hectic because you're right there. You're sniffing Brad Sweet for that championship at points standings. You going to race these 4 weekends any different?
I've been from day one. I just want to go win races. I thought it would be really cool to, sustain the winningest driver in high limit history. That's a big thing for me and my team, just to go and win races. We really struggled in the beginning of the year and lost a lot of points on Brad and, a lot of these great competitors. So, I think this is all just learning experience for me, never really competing for a full-time championship. We're going to run 60 races this year, and that's a lot of racing to go for a championship. And I feel like we had a couple DNFs, what kind of set us back. And, you know, Brad Sweet is so veteran about making sure he finishes every race and consistently finishing in the top 10. And, you know, I think we just bumped Tyler Courtney in the points to get us into second. And, you know, as long as we keep consistently putting ourselves in positions to win, you know, those championships will come down the road for sure.
Are you going to race this year any differently the last 4 races?
No,
Rico.
I'm going to hammer it. Hammer it.
There you go.
Do some hairy wall banging.
Look out, Brad.
There you go. Buddy, proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You
I
bet,
always
man.
enjoy getting on and talking with you guys.
All right.
Aw.
Well, do it again. We'll get you back on, okay?
Yeah, there we go. 4 more times.
4
go.
more times. Okay.
Boy.
Have a good day.
See you, Rico.
See you guys.
You take car maintenance seriously, and you want to pass on that legacy of care. Use Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer to shield your engine from excessive heat, debris, and friction. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of SpeedFreaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.